On the world of Oryth, the forest is forged from living metal. Vast titanium trees rise like cathedrals of alloy, their solar leaves shimmering with currents of light. Beneath them, circuit-like roots glow across the ground, pulsing with energy as if the planet itself were alive. Here, biomechanical herbivores graze on luminous fiber grass, feeding not on matter, but on light itself. Predators prowl these forests, sleek, feline machines of alloy and energy, yet even they display affection. At pools of liquid light, they pause to drink, glowing veins pulsing as power flows through their frames. Above, biomechanical birds carve the skies, wings of nanocarbon scattering prisms of color as they weave in perfect geometric formations. In their courtship, light itself becomes a language. Among these beings live the Orythians, tall, humanoid forms of alloy and crystal, their pearlescent skin flowing with patterns of light, palms pressed together to exchange energy, a touch of light as trust. Children splash in pools of radiant water, playing with robotic companions as laughter resonates like a song of sparks. At midday rituals, entire communities raise their hands to the sky, the forest answering with waves of synchronized brilliance. On Oryth, nature and civilization are one. Biomechanical herbivores rest beside Orythians in harmony. Cities shine like living circuits woven into the metallic trees, each structure breathing with light, and as the sun sets, the planet itself ignites. Forests and towers blazing as one vast network, pulsing with color, sound, and life. A symphony of alloy and energy, forever alive beneath the metal skies. On the distant world of Elyndra, vast crystalline plains stretch endlessly beneath a radiant sky. Here, life has evolved not through conflict, but through balance and harmony. Towering above the glowing fields are the lumivores, graceful giants with translucent skin, absorbing sunlight and returning it as golden radiance. Nearby rest the colossal shellbacks, their crystalline shells refracting beams of light into dazzling colors. And high above, drifting through the heavens, immense float whales move like living constellations. Along the rivers, the elegant river mains drink, their flowing mains of liquid light rippling like waterfalls of silver and gold. Smaller wonders bring vitality to the plains, playful gleam rabbits, bound between glowing flowers, leaving trails of light with every hop. Overhead, delicate petal birds flutter gracefully, scattering petal-like dust that keeps the meadows in bloom. In this world, every movement sustains another, weaving a web of perfect interdependence. Hovering above the grasses, glowing orbiflies drift in slow spirals, releasing radiant spores that settle gently onto flowers, strengthening the land. At the heart of the plains, great gatherings unfold. Lumivores, river mains, and shellbacks resting side by side in serene companionship. Petal birds dance above the playful gleam rabbits, while colossal float whales drift across the skies, their bodies shining like drifting galaxies. As the day wanes, the true grandeur of Elyndra is revealed. From panoramic plains where every species can be seen in harmony, to riversides glowing with liquid reflections, the world radiates balance. On the distant geometric planet, every landscape is shaped not by nature as we know it, but by pure form and color. The ground stretches as vast mosaics of hexagons and triangles, while forests of geotrees rise with cylindrical trunks and crowns of glowing spheres. Here, even life itself is abstract. Herds of gentle formibeasts wander among the trees, while flocks of floating sphere flocks drift above, their glowing orbs rearranging in endless living patterns. Rivers flow not with water, but with streams of shifting shapes. Triangles and hexagons sliding endlessly like liquid mosaics. Within them, colorful geofish swim, their bodies formed of spheres and prisms, darting between prism reeds along the banks. On the shore, towering pyramid stalkers graze calmly, their long, angular necks bending toward the flow. The smaller creatures watch the fish with curiosity. Across the open plains, the world expands into patterned fields of color. Here roam the playful block runners, with cuboid bodies and spherical heads, grazing freely on cube-shaped bushes. Beside them move the majestic polyhounds, vast beings of interlocking polyhedrons, glowing faintly as they store the light of the sun. Despite their scale, there is no fear, no conflict. Block runners and polyhounds exist side by side, their movements blending into a perfect order. At the horizon, monumental mountains rise. Colossal stacks of cubes, prisms, and spheres balance like sculpture on a planetary scale. Between their slopes, herds of creatures graze, flocks of orbs drift through the air, and rivers of shapes cut shimmering paths through the valleys. As the sun sets, the entire world glows in kaleidoscopic light. On the wandering planet, nothing is still. The ground itself shifts forward as forests march and mountains drift across a monochrome world. Towering root spires pull themselves step by step, their immense roots rising and falling in rhythm with the planet's stride. Around them, striped herds flow like living patterns, while sharp-edged shard beasts move silently between shadows. Above, orb clouds of black and white spheres drift through the sky, mirroring the geometry below. Even the planet itself walks. Colossal legs of stone and geometry lift and slam into place, carrying the entire world forward through space. In the valleys between these titanic pillars, creatures adapted to the cycle of shadow and light crawl and feed in silence. On the surface, root spires and herds march together, their movements synchronized with the great rhythm beneath their feet. Life here is not separate from the motion. It is shaped by it. At the horizon, mountains advance with patient inevitability, sliding forward in perfect order. Among the plains, orb predators drift, clusters of monochrome spheres that rearrange into fleeting constellations as they circle the striped herds below. Yet there is no chaos. Predator and prey, land and sky, move together, each step part of the planet's endless march. The wandering planet is a world where balance is not found in stillness, but in perpetual movement. As twilight falls, the sky transforms into gradients of black, white, and silver. Herds rest in harmony with forests of walking spires, while orb clouds drift silently above. And beyond the horizon, the truth of this world is revealed. A planet striding through the stars, carried forward on colossal monochrome legs.